The matter of Clark versus Clark. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Clark, this is your father, is that right?
Correct.
And your mother is standing to your side?
Correct.
You recently lost your sight as a result of an illness?
Viral encephalitis. I was bit by an insect.
You have no vision at all?
Light and dark sensation only.
And when did that happen?
June of last year.
Is there any treatment for it?
No, ma'am. It's permanent.
What kind of work did you do before?
I was an oncology and hospice research nurse.
Your lawsuit says that in 2001, your father was released from a prison term and needed to borrow some money, and you loaned him $1,000. He paid you back, according to your complaint, $300. Now that you are unemployed and money is really an important issue for you, you want the money back, the rest of the money that he promised to repay, $700. And your father says that he paid you back every penny of the money he borrowed. It was $900, but he paid you back every penny. Is that right?
Correct.
When were you released from prison, Mr. Clark?
January 2000.
And how long had you been incarcerated?
5 years.
Tell me about the loan that your daughter made to you. When was it?
It was after I got out of prison in 2000. I did 6 months in a recovery system. After that, I had purchased a car, and the transmission went out, and I borrowed $1,000 from her, which she did not send me $1,000. She sent me $900 because it cost her $75 to send it to me. So
well, that cost her $75 to send it to you, so that's almost $1,000. But for the fact that she sent you the money,
at the present,
she wouldn't have had the expense.
Right. At that time, I was going through a separation with my ex-wife, which is here as her witness. She was having me put in jail at the same time, which my parole officer at the same time was understanding.
For what?
Domestic violence.
Okay.
I went to court for it, and it was...
Okay. You started to pay her back when, sir?
After I moved to Columbus.
And when was that?
18 months later.
When did you send him this money?
February of 2001.
And how did you send it? By wire?
Western Union, and that's why I sent him $925, because they charged me $75 to send it, and he agreed to that prior to me sending it to him.
When did your father make his first payment?
Well, he wrote me a check, but it bounced.
When was that? Do you remember?
February of 2002. So then he was supposed to pay me when he got his taxes back, but they kept his taxes because he defaulted on a student loan. So he still didn't pay me. I, by then, was financially having some difficulties of my own, and I asked him, I said, since you can't pay me back, like you said, can we make arrangements for $100 a month? So at least I would be able to do what I had to do, and he agreed to that.
And when was the first payment? He
started working at the strip club about 2 months after that, and I got my first payment. He paid me in all quarters. And then...
that would be around August of 2002?
Yes, ma'am. And then the next time he paid me was a month later. He paid me another $100, and that was like in quarters and ones. And then the last payment...
Why were you giving her money in quarters?
Mainly, most of that was tips. Tips made. I was paying her 3 times a week.
That's untrue.
It was in tips.
That was
well, why, Mr. Clark, were you annoyed that your daughter... Listen to me carefully, sir. Were you annoyed that your daughter was asking you for this money back?
No, ma'am.
Well, then, you're a grown man. You can take quarters, and you go to the bank, and you turn in the quarters, and you get dollar bills or $10 bills or $5 bills to repay your debt. You don't act like a baby and give your daughter quarters, $100 or $200 in quarters. That's ridiculous.
He could have cashed it at the tip bar.
Shh.
Sorry, Your Honor.
My tips are registered from $1 bills to $10 bills to $20 bills. I make at least $500 a night in tips. I give her $100 a night 3 times a week in tips. Sometimes it is all ones.
Don't speak yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes it is all ones.
Oh.
But never no quarters. And there's no one uses change in the strip club.
Okay. When did you ask your father again for the balance of what he owed you?
After I got hospitalized in June, I had to go to the Cleveland Clinic for a second opinion on my sight. And I asked my father, well, actually, my mother was going to take me. We went by ambulance, and my father said he would drive up with us and make sure I got back home. But he left me stranded there. I was upset when I got back that he abandoned me when I was in the hospital. So I went to see him in October, and that's when he told me that he had no intention of paying me, that everybody wants something from him, and he can't get what he ain't got.
Well, tell me about that conversation, Miss Clark. You said,
No, well, first I asked him why he left me stranded, because he wouldn't return any of my calls. So finally,
and what did he say to you?
He didn't answer it. He started saying, well, the reason I had to leave you up there is because if you needed blood, I couldn't give you blood.
Blood pressure.
Let her answer.
And-
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let her
and,
answer. She's doing just fine.
He said that he couldn't give me blood if I needed blood because he's my stepfather, not my regular father. And I was like, so you left me stranded for blood I never even needed? And then I kept trying to call him on the phone to find out why he left me, but he would never call me back.
So you...
So I finally, when I found him, I asked him, I said, you know, I really need this money. I got a mortgage and a car note. And
And what did he say to you?
his exact words were, everybody wants something I can't give them. You can't get what I ain't got, and I ain't giving you nothing. And at that time, I started getting emotional, and my grandmother walked in, and I left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Of your biological children, nobody would give you money, but you asked your listen to me, you asked your stepdaughter, and she gave it to you.
Yes.
And later today,
Before I moved out, I told him that if he breached our agreement, he would not see it. And he said, that's fine. I'll take the loss to get you out of my life.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Angela Clark says her stepfather, Michael Clark, owes for an unpaid loan to get back on his feet. Michael says he was in prison for over 15 years.
Now, sir, I'd like you to tell me when you claim you made payments to, this is your stepdaughter? To your stepdaughter.
When I started making payments to her, I'd give her $100 a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes three
Do
times
you
a
remember
week.
when that was, sir?
Every week. After
Starting
the
when?
date of the, I started work in 2001. It was like 18 months after that, 2001.
After 18 months, you paid her, and it took you just a couple of weeks to pay her off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any biological children, sir?
2. I have.
How old are they?
Actually, I have more than that. By my ex-wife, there's my set of twins.
How old are all your children, sir?
They range from 38 to 10 years old.
So how come you asked your stepdaughter for money?
She was the closest one to me.
Yep.
That is true. Shh, just a second. So, of your biological children, nobody would give you money, but you asked your listen to me, you asked your stepdaughter for money, and she gave it to you, right?
Yes.
Now, if that's true, because you say she was the closest to you, right?
Yes.
Let's say she needs $700 now. Let's say, and I'm not saying that I believe you, but let's say you paid her. Why wouldn't you just give her $700?
I pay child support. I pay rent. I have to live.
With his mother.
Attorney fees that I have to pay, that I'm still paying. If she actually really needed the money, I would do whatever it takes to get the money and give it to her.
Well, evidently, sir, she really needs the money. She wouldn't bring you to court, sir, unless she needed money.
Having the children, biological children that I do have, I don't know where they live. I did 15 years in prison. I don't know where they live.
Well,
Angel is the
evidently
only
they
one I
weren't
know.
close enough to you to
Angel-
find out where you
Angel
were.
is the only one that I knew at the time where she was.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, but he took his daughter to the strip club where he lives. She lives 4 blocks from us. He helped her move into her apartment. He knows where all his children are,
Okay.
every one of us. And I didn't know he was my stepfather until he abandoned me in the hospital, and I still gave him the money.
I have to make a judgment
Yes,
whether
ma'am.
I believe that somebody who opened their heart and gave to a parent / step-parent money when they needed it and waited years in order to get paid back would make up a story about still being owed the balance of a loan, or whether there is a ring of truth to her statement that in response to her saying, I need my money now, you said to her, everybody's looking for a piece of me. They can't get what I don't have. Just like what you said, Mr. Clark. You got children, you got biological children, you got child support, you got lawyers, you got rent, you got everything else to pay. So that sounds like words that probably came out of your mouth. That everybody's looking for a piece of me, and you're going to get disability, and you're going to get workman's comp, or you're going to get whatever else you're going to get, and you're going to be just fine. Stop looking at me. I'm just an old man who's trying to make ends meet. Well, you make ends meet after you pay her back the $700 that you owe her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm grateful that I got my $700, but what he did today is going to cost him a lot more than that because now he has no relationship with any of his children.
She brought my ex-wife in here and just divorced her in December, so she just want to antagonize me.
Well, not only did he leave me stranded, did not pay me, but since I've been ill and lost my vision, I haven't heard from him, not once in the last 9 months since it happened to me.
I love my daughter, but when she first told me, when I first found out she was in the hospital, I was concerned about the blood thing. I panicked about it, I got stressed about it.
He didn't want a relationship with me when he owed me money. I'm sure he doesn't want one now that he actually has to pay me the money.
Pauline's mad at me, Dottie's mad at me, Angel's mad at me, half my kids are mad at me because of this family here. So I'm not worried about it anymore. I got a life to live and I'm gonna live it.
And now the next case.
السلام علیکم دوستو نه پښتو ته راوړم نو اختر موږ خو زبردست خسور کې وشولو نو قدیمه تراوی منځونه څنګه
دا د مو ملګری په ګلان د ښکته شو کو شو رکوع ته لاړو هغه تکبیر وخت کې
زبردست یار ویری ګډ نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې بیرونه کړی یار
रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में
او بدقسمتی سره ما یو تروام پکې نه دی کړی باقي سره د فیملی بو
شیا کا تک بم لاړې
السلام علیکم دوستو نه پښتو ته راوړم نو اختر موږ خو زبردست خسور کې وشولو نو قدیمه تراوی منځونه څنګه
دا د مو ملګری په ګلان د ښکته شو کو شو رکوع ته لاړو هغه تکبیر وخت کې
زبردست یار ویری ګډ نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې بیرونه کړی یار
रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में
او بدقسمتی سره ما یو تروام پکې نه دی کړی باقي سره د فیملی بو
شیا کا تک بم
لاړې السلام علیکم دوستو نه پښتو ته راوړم نو اختر موږ خو زبردست خسور کې وشولو نو قدیمه تراوی منځونه څنګه
دا د مو ملګری په ګلان د ښکته شو کو شو رکوع ته لاړو هغه تکبیر وخت کې
زبردست یار ویری ګډ نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې بیرونه کړی یار
रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में
او بدقسمتی سره ما یو تروام پکې نه دی کړی باقي سره د فیملی بو
شیا کا تک بم
لاړې